Hello and welcome to another live letter breakdown video with me, Meoni, this time for live letter part 48. The live letter itself kicked off with a fantastic trailer for 4.5 of Requiem for Heroes, which we already have a breakdown on the channel already if you want to check that out, but a link to the full trailer will be in the description of this video, which I highly recommend you watch that if you haven't already. The live letter itself begins with game producer and director Naoki Yoshida and Foxclone sat down to talk about patch 4.5, which they immediately confirm is indeed releasing January the 8th. Yoshida mentions how he slipped up with the comment to Famitsu magazine yesterday, which we reported on, yet the cat's already out of the bag now anyway. So part 1 on January the 8th and part 2 will be on late March, with no date given at this time in case there are delays. Patch 4.5 then will launch with a new main scenario quest revolving around the last battle for Stormblood in the Grimlit Dark Dungeon, which acts as the main portion of this patch's storyline and cutscenes. Apparently the EU FanFest will feature the second teaser trailer for Shadowbringers in February, and the Tokyo FanFest will show the final full trailer for the expansion, which I'm incredibly hyped for. Additionally to the Grimlit Dark Dungeon, on patch day you will have access to the new Four Lords trial, Sayu, in the Reef of Snakes trial. Both normal and extreme will be available on patch day. Hildebrand is however delayed until patch 4.56, which they say the order of release is 4.5, 4.55 a month later, and then 4.56 a month after that, and finally 4.58 a month after that. This is done to pace the content out and give us plenty to do in the following end of year running up to the expansion launch in 5.0 in summer. Blue Mage will be available 1 week after the patch day, so all being well, we'll actually be able to play it something like the 15th of January now with these new dates. This again is done to put less strain on the game and players with all the new content they have to clear. They do, however, mention Blue Mage is completely finished for those wondering. They just want a slower release schedule, especially if they have to do last-minute hotfixes on a new class, which will come as no surprise at all. The other piece of main content you can do is the Orborn Monastery, ready to play on patch day. This will be the final chapter of a Return to Ivalice Alliance raid, concluding that storyline. They point out lore lovers will love this storyline as it's fully fleshed out, and Matsuno-san is disapproving of Balthier not appearing, so look forward to it. They also stress it will be an incredibly long conclusion, full of cutscenes and rich lore to get stuck into, which is what that content really deserves. Next up, they confirm that Eureka Hydatos, the fourth featured instance in the Forbidden Land of Eureka series, will be coming with patch 4.55 in late March. Hydatos is confirmed to lock your substat of your current relic weapon you rolled from your last relic quest. However, once you complete Hydatos, you'll be able to re-roll those stats once again, so you don't have to worry too much about doing that before going straight in. Along with changes and additions to the current Rival Wings PvP mode, as well as the new Hidden Gorge map to Rival Wings will also be in 4.55. They also say immediately off the cuff that Yojimbo may appear somewhere in 4.5, so it's highly likely that since FanFest has a Yojimbo trial to play, and Yojimbo is featured a lot in the current Hildebrand storyline, that they might just put said trial into the game around patch 4.56 to join that storyline. Additional updates include the new custom deliveries client Adkirag for crafters and gatherers for your red and yellow script turn-ins in 4.5, and then they move straight on to talking about the Gold Saucer. The new Air Force One gate is in 4.5 and features you being able to shoot targets whilst riding around on a roller coaster inside the saucer to score points. Shooting the wrong targets, the red ones, will give you a score penalty and minus against your final score. Yoshida then says there are achievements associated with this gate and the courses are indeed randomized. The other big Gold Saucer announcement is that we're getting Doman Mahjong. This is a new minigame in the Gold Saucer and has a competitive queuing mode to queue queue against other players in ranked and normal matches. It will have tournaments in the future, it's confirmed, and they say they have so many good mascots in Final Fantasy that combining that with a game of Mahjong would be fun for players. The free trial players to the game will also be able to access this with no restrictions as well. The board and UI look incredible, and honestly, this is not something we expected, but I'm not going to go and give up on my dream of snowboarding one day. There is of course a full guide system in place on how to play Mahjong, and the whole thing looks pretty sleek as you would expect from 14. Just another massive surprise then from the dev team. Along with the 2 new gold saucer activities comes then a new mount reward that you can buy with MGP. They give no price currently, but confirmed that it will be more expensive than the 1 million MGP Fenrir mount. This is then the gold saucer mount. It glows in the dark and is essentially a giant cactuar that you walk around on, supporting the gold saucer as it goes. They also show a scene of it flying here as well. The next important section to talk about is the world visit and server-side migrations. The world visit system will be put into the game in patch 4.57, and the data center shuffle will happen before that, during the 4.5 cycle. But to note, it will not be conducted on patch day for 4.5 for now. They say there'll be an announcement at another point on the lodestone about this, but they are currently looking at 4.56 in March or a bit later than that. They want the population to be more balanced before having world visit in the game, and want it to be a good, true live stress test. So pretty soon you're going to have to decide where you're going. Are you going to transfer or stay on your server? Job adjustments got briefly talked about with little detail, to be honest. Monks, machinists and white mages will be the focus of job adjustments in the 4.5 series. They will be mostly centered around buffs to those jobs, and a lot of these changes will also go forward into 5.0. They do stress though that a lot of the job reworks are happening for 5.0, so don't think they're going to be in before then. New housing items were briefly shown, including a painting supply set and a fat cat couch, which is just awesome. I need that so badly. There's also this backdrop for a fish tank, I think it is. They do mention there are a huge amount of new housing items, including contest winners, being brought into the game for 4.5, so to look forward to that if you're excited for housing. A lot of time during the live letter now was taken up by Blue Mage, and they wanted to talk briefly about its implementation and demonstrate how they learn abilities in-game. You won't have to learn abilities in any particular order on the spellbook, and Yoshida mentions it's up to you to follow the clues to find out what and where to learn them. Specifically, they use an example of bad breath and talk about how you will need to gain enmity from the Malboro in question and then see the skill. It's not actually about being hit by the enemy, but seeing it firsthand. Evading the mechanic of that specific attack will not decrease or increase to learn it if you got hit or not, and it's a chance-based system. You will eventually have 5 presets that you can set up to choose from, which you can switch out your selected 24 skills at once, with a total amount of skills at 4.5's release of 49 abilities to choose from. They then show off a series of abilities in their live stream, but talk more about Blue Mage in general today. It will be based off intelligence as you would expect, but the damage will not be based on your weapon damage, but your armor and accessories. Blue cannot enter instance content, so it would be pointless to obtain weapons with different attributes on them for Blue Mage, even though that's not to say there isn't Blue Mage weapons in other content, but there was no real reason to put stats on them this time around. There's a ton more information on the Reddit Discord if you want to check it out on Blue Mage, but in general it was just the small things they covered about this job today. One of the last sections was on the new G-Pose features. You'll now be able to toggle wet mode on and off on everyone in your field of vision, so then you can take pictures of people with that wet gleam applied onto them regardless of the weather outside of G-Pose. You will also be able to toggle and choose emotes in G-Pose without actually leaving the feature, which is an amazing quality of life change for those of us who currently use it. In addition, plenty of other quality of life changes are coming in this patch series, including but not limited to UI opacity settings, a finer house placement mode for furniture, and some housing bug fixes, to just mention a few. They then finally announced a live broadcast of Yoshida and friends playing real-life Mahjong on December the 23rd on livestream. They note that Sato Yosuke, the Nier Automata producer, will be there, so that's interesting, but I'm trying not to think into that too much, but you never know. And then they move on to advertising deals towards the end of the livestream, such as a a lawsome Karaage-kun chicken nuggets collaboration in Japan, which has, and I can't believe I'm reading this, limit break flavor, which is fried garlic sesame oil flavor. Okay, I'm kind of wanting these right now. Additionally, the Final Fantasy XIV wedding dress and suit now exist in real life. You can buy them in Hyogo Prefecture, Kobe City, which look absolutely incredible. Perhaps if some of you out there have a lot of money and live in Japan, that's eye-opening to you for sure. It's pretty beautiful, I think you'll all agree. A new Piano Collections album launches March the 6th with 2 discs of piano themes from Stormblood and other moments in the game, and there is also the Primal Zeptor live album, which sells from February the 6th worldwide, with the first run coming with in-game orchestron rolls of both the Oblivion cover and the Rise theme that they produced live on stage. Chocobo's Dungeon Everybody releases March 20th for PS4 and Nintendo Switch, and with that you can also buy an amazing alpha statue complete with Ironworks gear, which is absolutely awesome. I'm not sure if this is a collector's edition thing or not, but now I want it badly. Either way, that concludes Live Letter Part 48 in its entirety. It's full to the brim with exciting news and hints at even more exciting things to come next year. If you enjoyed this breakdown/recap, let me know with a like below. Merry Christmas everyone, and I'll see you all next time.